Hey guys, Crazy Postman here. So I got another Luba update today. I've been getting some questions about what is the max size of a yard that Luba can do. We all know the paperwork says 1.25 acres or 5,000 square meters, but what happens if you go over? Or can you go over? How much can you go over? We're going to find that out today. What we're going to do, we know that my yard, as it's set up right now, I'll show you a screenshot of how many square feet it is. It is really close to the limit, but there's a lot of the middle of the yard out there that's not actually mapped. So I'm gonna go try to map some of the middle that will definitely take me over the 5,000 square meter limit or 1.25 acre limit, and we're gonna see what happens. Okay, so here's the area I'm going to map. There is lots of tree cover, and I don't normally mow here. Now, just out there, there's an area that I mow, and then way back there, there's an area that I mow, but right in here is not an area that's mapped. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to map this area, which will put me way over my size budget because we're technically already 100 meters or so over the size limit. So we're going to try to add this to the area and see what happens. Okay, so you can see on the map where we're at here. So I'm just going to see if it'll let me add this big square area to the map, even though I'm already technically over the size limit. So edit, create, add a task area. All right, here we go. Oh, we got poor positioning right away. Let's wait for that to come back. Now there is a pretty solid tree branch just right over the top of me here. Well, I guess today will be an experiment to how well GPS service works under tree cover, because not working so good right now. I only got a few feet. This is kind of the reason why I don't have this area mapped. One of the reasons, actually the major reason, is because of all the sticks that could be on the ground. But a secondary reason is because it's hard to get GPS service under a thick tree canopy like I have here. Except keep waiting, and I can't look at the position when it says this, so I don't know how close it is to getting the number of satellites back that it needs. One of the things I know that's kind of irritating, if it doesn't have a satellite lock for a certain amount of time, it like resets the, there we go. I'm gonna quit talking and let's go. Lost positioning again. All right, we're coming back under this heavy tree cover. I hope we can get to the other side of my map before we lose. About to exceed the area limit. I was able to add that to the area. So let's see what we got now. Oh, I didn't make a channel. Good grief. Edit, modify, add channel. All right, we're just gonna try to make a quick channel here. Okay, continue planning. Let's get Luba back out of there. So now we have a channel. Let's see if we can add all these up now. So currently we are at 5,437 square meters. That's quite a bit over the 5,000 square meter limit. So let's keep seeing how much we can push it here before we go over the tipping point. I did get a warning right towards the end that said I was nearing the maximum limit. So maybe it's somewhere around 55. what we're gonna do, we will just turn the camera the other way here, and we will try to map a big area back over on this side. So here we go. Let's add a task area, and we are off. Ha! So it didn't let me add another one. So now we know there is a hard software limit here. It's not going to let you add more than 5,500 square meters. So there you have it. It's a hard software coded limit of 5,500 square meters. So it's advertised for 5,000. They let you go a little bit over that, but not much. 5,500 square meters. I cannot do any more. And I'm gonna go ahead and just tell Luba to go home here. Go home, Luba. Oh, it's outside of a zone. So it can't go home because it's not inside of a zone right now. Okay, so Luba is inside a zone now. Let me take y'all over here and show you. So there's Luba. It's inside a zone. I should be able to tell it to go home now, and it knows how to go home now that it's in a zone. No big deal. So, okay, so what have we learned today? We've learned that there is a software restriction on the maximum size for the Luba. Now, why would they do that? The Luba is probably capable of doing more than 5,000 square meters. Here's what I think. I think Momotion is planning a commercial version that is going to be for yards over 5,000 square meters, obviously. Where'd Luba go, huh? Oh, it's stuck. Luba got stuck. I thought I heard it beeping. Let's go check this out. So it was trying to go back home, but the trailer is parked in its path. Come on, Luba. You're smarter than that. Go around it. So I guess it's just gonna sit here and be in a little loop. Oh, it gave up. It tried several times. I don't know why it can't see using its sonic sensors there in the front that it has space over here. So, not sure why we had this little fail here, but you saw it tried to go through and it just didn't quite fit. As I was saying, what did we learn in this episode? We learned that there's a 5,000 square meter limit, and that's a hard limit in the software. There's no way to get around it unless you're deleting zones and remapping zones all the time. So it's a big time sacrifice if you try to get around it. Not really worth it. What I think is going to happen is Momotion is going to release a commercial version that is for larger sizes. They don't want the consumer version to butt heads with their commercial version, so they put a hard limit on it so it can't physically compete. 5,000 square meters is all you're going to get out of this Luba 5000. Actually, 5,500, but they give you a little playing room just in case. This stuff is why I can't breathe right now. Let's go ahead and tell it to go home. Home, start. So, you can see here where Luba's donut hole was, we put a welcome mat. This is Luba's welcome home mat. So that will quit tearing up the grass there. I do know on the newer models that I've seen, the 5000s anyway, that they are sending it with a mat that you peg down in front of Luba to take care of the donut hole situation. So you have to give it to Momotion. They are learning from experience. All these videos that everybody's making, all the reports and the feedback you're doing in the app, they're compiling all that information and making Luba better one update at a time. So that concludes today's experiment. Now you know 5,500 square meters is your hard limit. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. But then there was some kind of update. Wow, that is a huge bird out there. Holy guacamole. That is a huge bird. Why is he running on the ground? Wonder if his wing is broken.